Hello and welcome to GadgetGuideUSA. Thanks for watching my mini LED projector product review. As you can see here, as normal, I got everything out of the product packaging here to make it easy on us. And we're just going to look over the box here. It's nothing crazy on the box. It tells you that it's in multiple colors. I have, I guess, white and gray, which would be that one. But it does come in multiple colors. I haven't seen them, but I'm just assuming they're true. It gives you some HDMI, VGA, USB, headphone jack, SD card, and it does have all those. I'm really impressed with the amount of inputs. So of course I do always like the flexibility. Other than that, it's pretty generic. It kind of gives you everything else that's on there. We'll go ahead and get rid of it. Retail quality box. Now I guess we'll go ahead and talk about the device itself. It's plastic construction, but as you can see here, it has like a very sleek look. It doesn't have an axis of symmetry, so it kind of looks neat and a little futuristic. So of course I like that. It looks like it's pretty well made. I'm twisting it pretty bad here. There's no cracking or anything like that. But it comes with a lens cap there, and I mean it's a standard lens. And if you actually check the end of my video, I recorded some of the actual I don't know whether to call it footage or not. I took footage of the projector and the way it comes out. It is limited to standard definition, which is 480 by 320. But for under $100, projectors normally don't have like super high resolution, and especially at this price, they normally don't have as many inputs as this. It has a CCTV input, so for some reason you wanted to, or you have a CCTV out, or you wanted to display a projector over your CCTV system, for whatever reason, I can't think of a whole lot, but maybe you can. It has your standard full SD card port. As you can see here, it's not for a micro SD card, but a micro SD card will work if you have the full SD card adapter. Of course, I tested that out. It works fantastically. It actually works the exact same as the USB, and you can plug in directly and play files. .avi is the ones I played, and .mpg, which were actually encoded in MPEG-4 and or MPEG-2 format. I tried them all. They worked fabulously. So it actually has an in-system browser. You basically go to source and you'll go to USB or SD card, and then you'll click left. And when you're going through the source menu, left is kind of like the OK button. There's not actually an OK button. But you click left to confirm, like you want to go to HDMI or whatever. And then it actually has a file browser. So you can play music, you can look at pictures, or you can play movies in all kinds of formats. And I'll actually go over the formats when we're going over the manual. It has an HDMI input, which I tested with my laptop, and that's actually how I shot the video, was over the HDMI. But I tried both VGA and HDMI, and I went over every resolution possible in my laptop, all the way from 600 by 800 all the way up to 1920 by, I don't know, 9 something, I'm not sure. It wasn't 1080p though, because my computer won't display 1080p. And no matter what resolution I put my laptop in, it displayed fine, both through HDMI and VGA, so of course we like that. In addition to the HDMI, VGA, USB, SD card, and CCTV inputs, it has an AV input, which most people in the United States probably aren't going to be too familiar with this, but it's essentially a 4-contact plug here. It's a 3.5 millimeter plug, but what you get out on the other end after you plug it into this port called AV is RCA composite. So most people in the United States is going to be familiar with this. So it gives you 3 females, so you can plug that in and then run it to, pretty much any old school TV or anything you like. So of course we like that. As far as inputs, it has amazing functionality. I mean, look at all these. So I mean, I was really mind blown at all the ways that you can put data in and project it. So of course the flexibility is fantastic. So of course, and then you have headphones out. It does have an internal speaker. It's not like, look how small it is. It's not the super loudest thing in the world, but for a projector, it's definitely getting the job done. If you actually watch the video that I've already taken, you can hear the sound, but remember, the camera is sitting way up here, and the sound is being projected backwards. So, I mean, it's not really loud, but it's louder in real life than it was on the camera, just due to limitations of filming. But it definitely has all kinds of great inputs. Here's the power adapter. It actually came with European style plugs, which of course we don't like, but it also included this, the European plug to a 2-prong adapter. So I mean, it's not horrible. It definitely works in the United States. The problem is once you plug this into the wall, it kind of has that hang effect. So I didn't really like that, but really as far as my complaints, the lower resolution being one of them, and then this adapter being one of them, they're really kind of minor considering the excellent value you're getting out of the projector. It's pretty cheap. I didn't actually buy this one. It was loaned to me so I could do this video, so thank you. And we'll go ahead and get that power adapter out of the way. We talked about the cord. It has your, here is your remote control. It needs 2 AAA batteries. These did not come with it. Those are ones I supplied. As a matter of fact, I'll take them out now. And it uses 2 AAAs. And the remote is a lot better, easier to use than these buttons because you actually have an OK button. Where this one, you pretty much use the left as an OK button. This one actually has an OK button. I'm not really sure what the numbers are for. I didn't use those. But you can use this to scroll through, change the source. It has all the functions you want, fast forward, and they all work well, and you can turn the mute on. So the remote's definitely a nice functionality. The biggest problem with the remote is that the IR sensor is located right here. So in order to operate the remote control, you kind of have to be behind it. You know, if you're standing in front of it or sitting in front of it and try to use the remote, it doesn't work. You need direct line of sight. So you kind of need to point the remote directly at the IR sensor. But once again, we're going to go with the price point for reasoning behind that. You know, for the price my friend paid for this, you're definitely not going to get more inputs than this at this price. So okay, now we're going to go ahead and talk about the manual. It's not a horrible manual, but it steps you through everything. It tells you where all the ports are and what they do, and it goes ahead and gives you some information. The native resolution is 480 by 320. When you watch the video, you realize it's absolutely true. It says English plus 23 other languages. I didn't scroll through those because I prefer English. It has contrast. The image size is between 20 and 100 inches. I will say, when you get it up to 100 inches, the screen is very pixelated. The video I shot was about 60 inches, and I felt like that was about the perfect level, the perfect trade-off between, you know, quality and size. But if you want to go ahead and do 100 inches, it doesn't matter. You control the distance not by this, not by spinning it, but by actually moving it forwards and back until it gets to the distance you want. So you're kind of limited how big the screen is to how far this projector is away. Spinning this does not change the size at all, it only adjusts the focus. So you use the distance away from your viewing screen to control size, and then once you have the size you want, you spin this in order to focus it. It was really easy to do. Once you do it one time, you're like, oh yeah, that makes total sense. It gives you some, it says power waster, 25 watts, so I'm guessing that's how much it uses. You have outputs, you have headphones or the internal speakers, and it gives you all the inputs and things like that. It tells you the formats it plays. It'll play WMA, which is Windows Media File, MP3s, M4As, which I'm not really familiar with, JPEGs, BMP, PNG, MPEG 1, 2, and 4. It'll also play AVIs. It'll play .mkvs, which are Matroska video files. And it'll also play .mov. So if you're a Mac user, it'll play it natively, which is great. And it goes to it'll play DivX, WMV. So it's got, I mean, the inputs are amazing. So that's what was really mind-blowing to me. The resolution being standard definition, of course, is a downside, but the fact is if you have a plug-in or if you have an output, this thing probably accepts it as an input. You know, the laptop was worked great. I hooked up my Minix box to it just to make sure it works, and it in fact worked great. Worked right away with no setup, so of course we always like that. And then it's just going to go over how to use the projector. It comes with the, you know, it tells you the accessories. So I mean, the manual's good, the projector's good. If you are looking for a relatively inexpensive projector that's going to have a huge amount of flexibility as far as inputs and what you display, then this is definitely the choice. Overall, I mean, it definitely gets a, you know, a thumbs up for value. Just remember that the resolution is limited to 640 by 320, so the actual picture is not going to blow your mind. But if you're looking for something for a barbecue, to watch cartoons on, to keep kids happy, I mean, this has all kinds of uses. It's very versatile. Definitely like it, and it's definitely something I would recommend you have. I hope you enjoyed my product review today. Comments are always welcome at the bottom of the page. Subscriptions are always appreciated. Thank you. And if you have any specific questions, comments, or suggestions, please email me at GadgetGuideUSA@gmail.com. Thank you for your time.